The following video is not legal advice. Do your own research and make your own decisions. Hi, hey, hello. Today is all about how Gray and I decided to pursue second parent adoption in order to protect our family and so that we could make sure we felt confident about our custody rights over our kiddos in any situation, even if extraordinary circumstances arose. If you're unfamiliar, second parent adoption is merely the same-ish kind of adoption that, say, a step-parent might seek if they wanted to adopt their stepchild. We did this before same-sex marriage was codified by the Biden administration, and I want to talk about why, as well as one big question that we had to answer first, which was who should be doing the adopting? Since I was the birthing parent, but we used Gray's eggs, did that make me a surrogate or Gray an egg donor? It's interesting, right? Well, based on my super non-professional regular person comprehension of Minnesota law, as well as my interpretation of my lawyer's explanation of the law to me, basically, it's complicated. But it seems that I could have a stronger legal claim to the kiddos if gay marriage were to be overturned or something else really wonky like that were to happen. And that's because Minnesota appears to consider giving birth to a child as enough to establish status as that child's biological mother. Additionally, Minnesota has an assumption of paternity statute, which states that a man is presumed to be the biological father of a child if he and the child's biological mother are married to each other and the child is born during the marriage. These are older laws and definitions. Then, fast forward to 2013, when my state legalized same-sex marriage, and rather than rewriting a bunch of laws, they were lazy and just enacted a separate law that was like, blah blah blah, we are acknowledging that gay people exist now, I suppose, so please ignore all the previous gender-specific language and read the statutes as if they are gender neutral. Cool? Which in the end makes me, functionally, the mother, because I did the giving birth, and Gray, the other legal parent, simply because they were married to me at the time. So, while it may be unlikely if gay marriage were ever to be legally abolished, a problem would arise for us. Because then that separate gender neutral law could go away and result in the marital presumption of parenthood no longer applying to Gray. I guess. I don't really know. Again, I am not a lawyer. And I could be wrong, but that is how I understood things when I was being educated on all of this. If any lawyers want to argue with me in the comments, you win. You automatically win. Anyway, thinking about Gray's rights to our kids being threatened felt awful. On top of that, it would be a nightmare then if something happened to me. What if I was involved in a car accident, or became ill, or got arrested, or was incapacitated? Or anything. One resource I read on the topic of Minnesota law and LGBT families wrote, in the event the legal parent dies, the surviving non-legal parent would have no rights to parenting time, custody, or decision-making. From a legal perspective, the surviving non-legal parent may as well be a stranger. Yikes. Ultimately, we determined that was not a risk we were willing to take. And so even though it was absurdly expensive and a bit time-consuming, we went to Zoom court and made our family super heckin' mega official. Now, no matter what, both of our custody rights are protected. Our abilities to make healthcare decisions and other choices for the kiddos are ensured. The twins' inheritance is safeguarded. And it also just felt like a really meaningful, symbolic commitment to make. Like, hey, even though we may have already been automatically given some rights to you, y'all are so important that we built a fortress around those rights. That is how much you are wanted and how much the security of our family means to us. Truthfully, the best case scenario, fingers crossed, is that doing this really doesn't do much for our family besides give us peace of mind. Like, hopefully this, I would like for this to ultimately be unnecessary. That is kind of the goal. I would hate for our rights to ever be tested. And I'd like to feel optimistic that they won't be, but you never know. So yeah, let me know if you have a queer or blended or non-traditional family and if you've ever had to do something unique to support it. And that is all. Okay, bye. Also, I hope that it goes without saying, totally no judgment if you're an LGBT plus family and did not go this route. One of the biggest lessons I've learned from being a parent and just from life is that every family and person and situation is different, and that's beautiful. Also, like I mentioned, second parent adoption is pretty pricey and just not the most accessible thing to do. Maybe you value putting that time and money into other things or assisting your kids in other ways. that's valid. As usual, my videos are simply descriptive of my experience and not prescriptive of what you should do. In therapy, I've learned that one of my highest prioritized personal values is autonomy, and thus I respect your autonomy to make your own choices for your family. The end! Wow, you made it to the end. Here is the obligatory part where I ask you to follow me on other social media platforms because it profoundly affects my self-worth. Just kidding, it doesn't really. But, please follow me anyway because that would be fun, and I mean fun for my self-esteem. Haha, no, not actually. I am truthfully totally indifferent, and if no one follows me, I'm not gonna, cry into a pillow all afternoon. I did that last Wednesday, so I think it's out of my system now.